I'm Dr. Peirano. I'm a licensed acupuncturist and doctor of acupuncture and Chinese medicine. DACM means. And I decided to use today to have more of an educational moment and talk about some of the ways that acupuncture is actually really cool and how it works. So today we're going to talk about acupuncture, brainwaves, and the fountain of youth. My Qigong instructor in school, the late Dr. Suzanne Friedman, told this to us often. She said, Qigong and acupuncture will not only make you smarter, but make you sexier and help you get better dates. We always knew that there was some really merit to this, because whenever we do a mindfulness practice like Qigong or we receive acupuncture, you feel better, and then feeling better, you look better, and you have a clearer mind, and all of this is helping you to be smarter and sexier and get better dates. So the way that this sort of works is we're going to talk about brainwaves. So what are brainwaves? Brainwaves are simply the measurement of neuron activity in the brain. So neurons communicate with each other by electrical impulses. We measure this as an EEG, and that's a brainwave. What the amplitude and the frequency of the wave is what's going to tell us what's going on in the brain. So there's 5 common types of brainwaves that we see in waking humans, and it's gamma, beta, alpha, theta, and delta. There's a couple of other types of brainwaves that we don't see very often, but so we're going to talk about these. And they go from gamma, which is a really small amplitude, high frequency, so a lot of waves in a period of time, to delta, where it's a bigger amplitude and a low frequency, so less waves in a period of time. Gamma waves are associated with insight and expanded consciousness, and also this hyper-focused, tranquil meditation. They're not often seen in waking people, but we've observed them in Tibetan monks during and after meditation. So while they're meditating, they can get to the gamma state, but also while they're in waking life, they experience the gamma state, which is kind of the point of being a monk, is being that walking meditation all the time. So they're kind of there. Beta waves are our most common brainwave state. This is associated with thinking, communication, learning, concentration, and we get kind of stuck here. This is like our daily waking life state, and people will get stuck in the beta state, and then when we get stuck and don't get into the alpha, theta, and deeper brainwave states, we experience stress and anxiety. From beta, we can go to alpha, which is the relaxing, recharging, rejuvenating. This is the chilling out at the end of work, reading a book, kind of spacing out at the TV. In alpha state, we increase serotonin levels, and this is the beginning of the access to the unconscious mind. And this is where acupuncture, mindfulness, yoga practices, we start getting you into the alpha state, and from alpha, we can go to theta. And theta is associated with a deep meditation, REM sleep. This is where healing happens and mystical experiences happen. Again, meditation, yoga, and acupuncture help us access this state. So we get you out of the beta state and into alpha, where we can go into theta. And from theta, we get delta, which is a deep, dreamless sleep. Universal consciousness is associated with, and the deep healing. And we also release human growth hormone in this state. And this state is, interestingly enough, the most common brainwave state we find in babies. So babies aren't even really getting into the beta state, they're in delta all the time, which we can associate with the growth hormone and growing, but also being connected. As babies don't have the rest of the junk that we have going on, they're really connected, which is that universal consciousness that we experience with the delta state. So how does acupuncture affect brainwaves? Studies have shown that acupuncture will help us get out of the beta state and the stress state and start experiencing the alpha state and then the theta state. And mindfulness practices are the same way. So we get out of beta and into alpha, and what's great about it is that it happens even after the treatment's over. So in the rest of our life we're going through, we can access the alpha state more readily. And sort of like getting from beta to alpha is easy for some people and really hard for others. So it's sort of like trying to walk down a road that has a bunch of construction happening on it, and there's rocks in the way, and wheelbarrows, and people, and all this junk. So when we're doing a mindfulness practice or receiving acupuncture, we're kind of clearing out that pathway so you can get from beta to alpha more easily. And this is resulting in increased ability to deal with stress and decreased stress all around. In addition, acupuncture increases endogenous opioids, serotonin, endorphins and noradrenaline in the body. This is why acupuncture helps us deal with pain, and it's why we feel better and we get relaxed. So this alpha theta state is where the body can heal itself. We have that ability. We don't experience it often because we're stuck in the beta state. So when we get to the alpha theta, we can heal ourselves, and this is also preserving telomeres in the DNA, which is really important when it comes to aging. So what's a telomere? Telomere is a part of the DNA. So if you think of the DNA strands of shoelaces, the little plastic cap on the end is a telomere. If we cut off the plastic cap on the end, the shoelace comes unraveled. So when the telomeres shorten and decompose and break down, and they eventually go away, the DNA becomes unraveled, and that's death. So telomeres shorten as we age, but things like stress, a poor diet, lack of exercise, smoking can all shorten them faster. So when we're doing these mindfulness practices and getting acupuncture and being kind to ourselves, we're actually preserving the length of the telomeres, which is an anti-aging effect. And this aging has to do with our brain, our cognitive aging, and our physical aging of the body, how we feel, and also how we look. So preserving the telomeres is very important when it comes to aging. So is this the fountain of youth? It could be. It's probably a very important piece of it. And since acupuncture is helping with that alpha theta state, this is a really great tool that we have to use to help preserve that and preserve the telomere lengths. And this, in a Chinese medicine, we would say that the qi and the vital life force is preserved by doing acupuncture and taking care of our bodies. And when we do this, then those forces have the ability to replenish and renew and restore and help our body. So this is how acupuncture helps us look better, feel better, be smarter, get better days.